Hello and welcome. You with us here on Business Today. I'm Abha Bakaya. Here are the day's top stories. Is China envious of the Make in India iPhone? Chinese social media is flooded with misinformation and fake news about the Indian-made iPhone 15, and the usually iron-fisted Chinese government is allowing this propaganda to spread. Veteran ace investor Mark Mobius speaks exclusively to BTTV, says he strongly believes in the India story and also discusses the impact of the Indo-Canada diplomatic war on foreign investments. Sensex and Nifty closed at 4-week lows with 2.8 lakh crore rupees of investor wealth wiped off. Concerns over rising oil prices and high interest rates. Travel company Yatra lists at a disappointing 10% discount. Crude oil prices surged to $97 a barrel, the highest level in over a year. Oil India ONGC shares rally while those of HPCL, BPCL and Indian Oil fall on margin concerns. Indian tech funding hits 5-year low with third consecutive quarterly decline. Traction report says tech startups raised just $1.5 billion in July to September, a 29% decrease from the previous quarter and a 54% fall from last year. Envious and furious, that's what a section of the Chinese are after the latest Made in India Apple iPhones hit the market earlier this month. Social media users from China are seemingly on a mission to create doubts over the quality of the handset built in India. Platforms like Weibo and X are now flooded with doubts about the quality of the iPhones made in India.
It was less than a week ago that Apple CEO Tim Cook joined customers as they bought the first iPhone 15s off the shelf. His smile probably rooted in the belief that Apple's supply chains were no longer hostage to China's mood swings. This as the first Made in India iPhone 15 also went on sale across the world.
The Indian customer will get an iPhone 15 that is manufactured in India, and the other customers will get iPhone 15 that are manufactured elsewhere in the world, including China. So that is a big difference between what used to be and what is today. And this is a transformation that has happened over the last 9 years, and India is certainly a leading presence on the global electronics scene today.
But India's moment of pride has raised unprecedented heckles in China, with social media and state-controlled outlets in China erupting with anti-India posts. Several posts on Weibo alleged that the India-made iPhone 15 units are being diverted to China after being rejected in Europe for having quality issues. There were other posts which in fact mentioned some incredible numbers that only 34% of Indian-made iPhones could pass European quality tests. The misinformation was picked up by other platforms like WeChat and gained traction with dozens of articles and videos repeating and even blowing up the false claims. Articles also appeared on Chinese websites on how to identify and avoid India-made iPhones. Most of these articles are patently false. The Chinese propaganda war against India also took a racist turn, with a popular post doing the rounds that new iPhones will smell of curry. There were also comments that the best way to identify India-made iPhones is to smell it. Others made fun of India-made iPhones being dirty because Indian people don't use toilet paper. A teardown of an iPhone also showed alleged dust particles inside. The latest allegations are that the Made in India iPhone Pro series overheat on charging. The only problem in these allegations, including the ones about the dust, are that the Pro series is not manufactured in India. Only the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus are. Apple had to later issue a clarification that chargers of Android phones should not be used to charge the iPhone. Surprisingly, the Chinese state, which keeps an iron-fisted control over all articles and social media posts, has allowed the spread of the false narrative against India. This has led many to believe that the posts are not isolated but reflect China's increasing discomfort with the growing success of the Modi government's Make in India scheme. Apple is reportedly reaffirming its faith in India and has targeted a production target of $40 billion in the next 4 to 5 years from the current $7 billion. The plans include expanding the product mix in its factories in India, a move which is bound to cause more consternation in China. Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
With Chinese social media posts working in concert to spread misinformation about the quality of India-made handsets, Business Today TV managing editor Siddharth Zarabi spoke to the president of one of India's largest mobile phone companies, Lava.
When the ecosystem was not there in India, I'm talking about 10 years back, 9 to 10 years back, so we had to set up our factory in China. So that's where we had this whole design center as well as the manufacturing setup. And then later on we shifted to India, shifted the entire design as well as manufacturing setup to India. I can tell you from the numbers that I have, that whenever we used to do manufacturing in China, whether it is by ourselves or through a third party, our fault rates used to be very high. And ever since we have got manufacturing in our own control in India, our fault rates have dramatically reduced. So this mindset of quality in India is very good. I think I do not believe this theory that Indians cannot do a good quality job. I think we are doing a good quality job already. So I don't subscribe to that. Of course, you will always have people who will obviously find faults with everything.
Markets today closed lower. Benchmarks were down about 1% in trade, with about 2.8 lakh crore rupees of wealth wiped off the market, with investors anxious about rising inflation and tightening interest rates. The rise in crude oil prices to 12-month highs also sparked concern on D Street. Markets saw a volatile session ahead of F&O expiry. Sensex down 610 points to settle at 65,508, while Nifty slipped 193 points to 19,524. Top movers today: L&T, Airtel, ONGC, Coal India and Power Grid. And on the downside, Tech Mahindra, Asian Paints, LTI Mindtree, M&M and Wipro lagging behind. September has witnessed huge foreign fund outflows from the Indian stock markets. Foreign portfolio investors turned net sellers for the first time 7 months in September. Data shows that FPIs have pulled out a net $1.5 billion with 2 days of trade remaining this month. The reason? Rising bond yields and a stronger US dollar. FPIs have been net buyers from March to August, buying shares worth $21.3 billion in this period. Veteran emerging market fund manager Mark Mobius, who manages around 300 million worth of assets across the globe, remains bullish on the India story despite the latest sell-off by FPIs this month. In an exclusive chat with Business Today's Rahul Oberoi, the ace investor spoke about why he believes in India's growth. He also spoke about the possible impact of diplomatic tensions between India and Canada.
And what is keeping you bullish on India? Which are the factors?
So many things there. Of course, the fact that it's a democracy and you have a very strong capital commitment, capital growth, number one. Number two, high growth of the economy, one of the highest in the world. Number three, young population. Number four, English-speaking population that is very evident around the world. India has so many people around the world that are leaders in different fields. And of course, that know-how is going to be coming back to India and help the growth of India. And of course, India is coming from a low base. So the percentage changes in terms of growth are going to be very good.
If we talk about Chinese market have hardly delivered any return to investors in 2023. So which are the factors weighed on sentiments this year? And do you think any further underperformance in the country can benefit Indian markets?
Well, as you know, a lot of companies around the world, particularly American companies, are wanting to diversify their base, their manufacturing base, away from dependence on China, which has been very, very great, as you know. But that does not mean that they are going to exit China completely. China will still be a very important market, not only for manufacturing, but also for exports from other countries around the world. China is a big consumer market. So the big change that's taking place in China, of course, is that they're moving away from emphasis on property investment and now more emphasis on technology. Because as you know, Xi Jinping has very clearly stated that he wants China to be able to overtake the US in terms of semiconductors and technology generally. So there's going to be an incredible amount of investment in those areas.
If we talk about recent tensions between India and Canada, so can we see some outflows from Canadian funds from India?
Yes, you will see some, but this is very insignificant. When you look at the total picture of trade, investment, etc., Canada is a very, very small part of the total picture. So I don't think this is going to be significant. There's a lot of noise, I know, about Trudeau and what he said, etc., but I don't think it's going to have a big impact.
Let me remind you to watch Business Today TV's exclusive high-powered chat with the former U.S. Treasury Larry Summers and former chairman of the 15th Finance Commission, N.K. Singh, tomorrow at 10:30 p.m. Amul is all set to open a new 2 million litre per day dairy in Rajkot. The FMCG brand, India's largest, is also planning a huge expansion into the organic space. Speaking to Business Today TV's Chetan Bhutani on the sidelines of the Vibrant Gujarat Summit, Jayant Mehta, MD of the Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation, also revealed what the dairy Goliath has in store for festive season.
Gujarat has seen a very vibrant growth over the last several decades thanks to this Vibrant Gujarat event. And to just put the perspective in numbers, in the year 2002-03, when this event started, GCF, the Gujarat Milk Marketing Federation, Amul brand turnover was about 2,400 crores. Today, GCF has grown 25 times in 20 years, and our balance sheet turnover is 55,000 crores. And Amul brand turnover is 72,000 crores, making it the largest FMCG brand in the country. So the growth of Gujarat, growth of Amul has been synonymous, and it is true the credit goes to all the 3.6 million farmers across 18,600 villages of Gujarat, and primarily the women who have been driving this growth with potential and opportunity and making us a formidable force in the country and possibly a powerhouse or a dairy to the world.
So the Prime Minister also pointed out on the implementation of the policy. You have your farmers there, everything is good, but the MOUs are signed, but once not implemented, has no use of it, sir. So tell us about what new the state of Gujarat has done over the period of years, so that the policy implementation part, as a businessman, as an industrialist, what difference have you seen over the years?
We are actually seeing the walking of the talk because we are in every village of Gujarat. We have districts and unions and the dairy plants in every district of the state. And the expansion plan, the rapid increase in milk from just 3-4 million litres a day to now 30 million litres a day is all happened right in front of our eyes. And with the team, both from the government, the policy makers, the ministries, and of course our management team, all have contributed to this growth. And it's not that one person is responsible, it's an entire collective enterprise driven by a large number of people making this possible.
Does Amul still participate at Vibrant Gujarat Summits, and do you still sign MOUs with the government? And if yes, what all is the new phase that Amul would get into with the Gujarat government?
You see, Amul has been a part of the Gujarat growth story, and of course we continue our association with every single Vibrant Gujarat event. This year also we'll be participating in a big way. We have been investing big time in Gujarat. So a new dairy plant of more than 2 million litres capacity is being put up at Rajkot. We're going to sign an MOU worth more than 2,000 crore rupees only for that plant, handling 2 million litres a day. Plus many other projects are there in the pipeline. Our initiatives in the organic space, our initiatives in the development of variety of products in every district of the state. All this is a part of the event.
The upcoming festive season also means massive discounts and sales by e-commerce giants Amazon and Flipkart. Both have teased their mega sales but have not announced the dates just as yet. What also accompanies these sales are massive logistical efforts to ensure products reach customers on time. BTTV's Karishma Sudani visited an Amazon fulfillment center in Bengaluru and spoke to the company's operations VP, Abhinav Singh.
It's an army of Amazon team that's working right there. Tell me what exactly happens once a consumer clicks the buy button, the kind of processes that go on.
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. When you click buy, the first thing that happens is we figure out which is the best place to fulfill your order from. Right? right now you're staying in Delhi, and if you're a Prime customer, which I hope you are, you would then be expecting the delivery of that package the same day or the very next day. So we will try and make sure it gets fulfilled from a customer fulfillment center very close to you in Delhi or on the outskirts of Delhi. That decision is happening real time. So before you get to the promise page, there is an inventory check being done to decide where to put the order. Once you have decided to buy, there is an order drop, we call it, but basically an electronic signal goes to the fulfillment center and onto people's devices so that they can go and pick your order. From there, it goes to the packing station. On the packing station, we use machine learning algorithms to determine what is the right box size to send the stuff to you in. If you've ordered 2 things, which is the best box to fit those 2 things in and yet not send you a box which is big and harmful for the environment. By the way, a quick segue, you would have noticed that all the packages coming from a fulfillment center are 100% paper. We eliminated single-use plastic 2 years ago, and recently we have moved all our packaging to paper packaging.